4th Infantry Division is still in the process of landing, but the Germans are starting to react and closing on the beachhead from all sides. The 505th in St. Mary-Glise reports being under siege. We have to reinforce them ASAP, with any help the 4th Infantry Division can provide. St. Mary-Glise is surrounded on all sides, Major. Colonel Ekman, the 505th CO, reports heavy shelling and infantry attacks from the north, while tanks and armored vehicles, mostly French-captured ones, are attacking from the south. Up west, a grenadier regiment has taken defensive position, preventing the 505th from reinforcing our other regiments at the Merderets bridges. Colonel Ekman also reports some German paratroopers elements taking position east of the city, but not attacking. They must be there to prevent anyone from relieving our garrison. The 505th is running out of ammo. We must break through to them with supplies, then repel the German assaults until they back down.
St. Mary is under attack. Compose your battle group.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sir Cypher here with Let's Play Steel Division Normandy 44 American Campaign Mission 2. In the first mission, we were very limited in our units and what we could do because we were just some sort of scattered airborne troops that had to retake crossroads and then push out. And most of the work was being done by our allied units coming in off the beaches. In this mission, we take on our sort of scattered units, including armor and some aircraft from those earlier missions. And now we have from that earlier mission, and now we have to reinforce some paratroopers here in St. Mary-Glise. All right, so I'm just going to mute the little advisor for a second because otherwise he's going to put his 2 cents in on everything. But as you can see here, we have more options. We have categories we couldn't use before because we're kind of a larger element this time. And we have more things to choose from. So we'll probably start from the bottom. There's 3 types of planes we can take. We only have 2 slots. Because we're going to be dealing with lots of infantry attacking this town, I'm going to take 2 of the fighter bomber variants of the Mustang. They're obviously, a little bit wasted in this role, but the Thunderbolts you can only take in Phase B, and you can only get 1 at a time, and we're really gonna need to be able to drop a lot of bombs. For anti-tank, we really don't need much. I'm gonna take some 37mm guns just in case to protect our route of entry, but we're going to have enough Shermans that we shouldn't really need any extra anti-tank. So we're going to get 1 Sherman in Phase A, and then we're going to get 2 more Shermans in Phase B. One interesting thing, which you can see here, is so these are the Sherman DDs. You can't see the cool propellers because it's sitting in front of a bush, but the interesting thing is, so this screen would pop up, and then it would float, and then, it has propellers in the back. The DD stands for dual drive, and it would, would swim, boat through the water towards the beach. But the interesting thing about these screens are, you'd think that they'd have like metal bands or something to keep them up, but they actually have these little rubber tubes, almost like bicycle tires, and they pump those full of air. And when you pumped all the tubes up, the whole screen puffed up, and then you had some kind of extra supports to kind of keep it steady. But yeah, actually it's like pneumatic with tubes. But anyway, we're going to take 1 in Phase A to kind of get us to the target, and then we're going to have 2 more to help us fight off any counterattacks in Phase B. Artillery, I'm going to take, I'll take some... you know what? As much as I complained about 60mm mortars, I'll take some 60mm mortars at the start, and then I'm gonna take some heavy artillery, some medium artillery for later on in the mission. For for support, as he says, we're going to want some supply trucks. We're going to mostly get Jeeps. Oh, not Jeep 50 cals. Mostly Jeeps because we only get these in Phase C. And then, let's see, for recon, we'll take some Pathfinders. Then we'll take some regular recon because they're cheap. And they come with a little machine gun Jeep as their vehicle. And then I'm going to take some recon some recon armored cars. The good thing about these is they're basically tanks. Unless they actually run into a tank, they'll win, against infantry. And if they get off the first shot, they actually have a pretty good gun for taking out enemy vehicles. It's actually the same gun that was originally in the American light tanks, the M3s. So let's see. Okay, so we're going to need some airborne leaders to give us some motivation. We'll take some M19 machine guns for Phase A because we're going to need some machine guns at the start. We'll take some airborne rifles. We'll take some glider rifles. What else we got? What else we need? Maybe some... I doubt we'll ever get to use the heavy machine guns. Probably just glider rifles, because basically what's going to happen is as soon as we get access to the town, we're just going to throw infantry in it to try and defend it. Maybe I'll get another set of these cheap AA guns. Nah, I don't think I need it. What else should I get? Support, infantry. Maybe I'll just get some airborne engineers because they're kind of fun. Okay. So that is what we are going to take. Hopefully the lack of anti-tank guns doesn't bite us. But we're bringing 5 Shermans, which against the kind of German tanks we're going to be facing, which are basically like pre-war captured French tanks, like the Hotchkiss or the M35. I don't think we're going to have too much trouble. Okay, so here we go. So we start off again in Phase A, limited by what kind of troops we can call in. So we have 25 minutes to make it to this town, which seems like, that's like a kilometer away. But we have to make it through all these hedgerows. Any one of them can have a German AT gun or a machine gun, which basically slows down our entire advance. So we have to be very careful. So first step is we're gonna take a tank and put it to there, and then we need to get a little task force for either side of the road. I'm also gonna bring a Mustang, and we're gonna want to bring We're gonna want a machine gun for each side. We're going to want to bring some engineers over here. We're going to want to bring a machine gun over here. It'll go down this little country road. Bring a machine gun. We'll bring some rifles. We'll bring a leader. And then over on this side, and then we need some recon. So we'll bring Pathfinders on each, because Pathfinders are a little bit more powerful when we get into combat right at the start. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll bring an airborne leader over here too. Okay, so we'll put the recon troops there. Okay, so let's go. So step 1, get the recon up here. Make sure there's nothing there. Step 2, get these guys up here. Get these guys up here. So if you have a vehicle and you click F, it is a fast move, which means that it'll try to use roads whenever possible. Otherwise, if you tell it to move, it'll just move like directly where you tell it. So it won't take a road. Units move a lot faster on roads. So Like a truck in the dirt is barely any faster than a let's see, is this gonna see here? Okay, cool. A truck in the dirt is barely any faster than a infantry just walking. So we're gonna go here. So contrary to what you might think, if you don't have good scouting position, the safest place for your tanks is like an open cover. Unless you know they have like heavy AT guns, because basically if your tanks if they have a heavy AT like this, basically every single bush is like a disaster waiting to happen. So you don't want that, obviously. So we're gonna do that there. We're gonna put the engineers here. We've got our Mustang ready to go, so we might as well have it help out. Maybe we'll have it bomb these leaders there. Or actually, what are these? Oh, Kugels. What are these little fuckers? No, I'm gonna blow up that. Oh, too late. Okay, so blew up those transports. Let's make those guys get out. My poor Pathfinders. We'll put my tank up here. Right in the middle. So nobody can sneak up on it. I got my machine gun ready to go. Looks like I'm gonna need some more airborne engineers. Some more machine guns. And maybe another... what do we got here? Probably some airborne. Probably, maybe actually some light mortars. Artillery. Get some mortars in here. Alright. So the enemy's trying to sneak through here. Little do they know, I've got lots of stuff here ready for them. Uh-oh. Boop. Alright, so this machine gun I want to put there. Alright. My Sherman's just cruising around, shooting stuff with his machine guns. Or my Mustang is, rather. Unload here. So the one advantage of mortars, despite their kind of lower rate of like kind of lower damage, is that because the round's not going very far, they actually kind of have a pretty low like time to target. So whereas like a heavy, you know, by the time they get there, they're not going to be any. By the time the round get there, you know, they're not going to be anywhere nearby anymore. The mortars are a little bit better at that. Okay, so we got machine guns ready to go. I would want to put. I want to bring some more infantry. I would want to bring some infantry airborne rifles like here. Maybe a machine gun here. And maybe a recon. Just so we don't get snuck up on. Alright, so there's an enemy anti-tank gun here. But that's only AP6. The Sherman has 10 armor. So it's going to be hard for them to do much to us. I'm going to keep the Sherman here just so I can just blast anything that gets too close. Alright. Ow. Let's jerk off. Can my mortar hit this thing? No, of course it can't. Because I brought the little piddly artillery. Okay. Put the machine gun right here. Got my medium machine gun ready to go. Got some airborne rifles to protect it. And then now I just got to get the recon out there to scout for it. And then that flank should be relatively secure. So let's see, I've got another 15 minutes or 20 minutes. We'll bring, I guess I might even bring more support here. More artillery. Bring another set of light mortars. Uh-oh, what's going on here? No, my poor recon. No, leave my poor recon alone. Oh. Damn it. What did my poor recon ever do to you? So I'll bring up my Jeep there. We'll get some more recon here. Really, I should have my flamethrower guys here. Alright, so we're getting pretty close to wanting to do the final approach. I think we're gonna move we'll move these Pathfinders here. We'll move these guys here. Move this machine gun here. Put a machine gun probably up in there, actually. Maybe with a leader. Okay, got my Mustang here. I'm gonna just blast this sucker. Oh no, my poor machine gun. No, no, no. No! There we go. Get fucked. Alright, so I should actually just have my Pathfinders, my flamethrower, just roast those guys. Okay. I think we're getting pretty close to I want to refuel my Are we in B phase yet? No, we're not in B phase yet. But anyway, so I'm gonna scoot these guys up a bit. Move up my leader. Put my machine gun right here. And then I'm just gonna rearm my tank. And then we're ready to make our approach on the town. I think, my flamethrowers are gonna roast these suckers. I have no oh no, shoot, what's that? God damn it. Alright, I'm gonna call in more Mustangs. And just blast these people here. We've got my mortars. Got blast those guys there. My Sherman is just reloading its HE ammo. I'm gonna move my recon there. And then here we go. So you can see, while again these are relatively weak individually, the kind of like just amount of little mortars you can drop on them makes them pretty effective. Okay, I gotta bring my little Jeep 30 cals up in here. Looking pretty good on ammo. All right, here comes my Sherman. When do we get to B phase? 24 seconds, okay. All right. So maybe I'll probably save up some money for B phase. 1 second, there you go. Okay, B phase. So bringing in a scout car. Gonna try and drag these Pathfinders up here. Gonna move my tank through the town to, as soon as I touch all these units, I'm gonna gain control of them, which is gonna be pretty useful. Going to move my machine gun up a little bit. Probably put it there. Put my airborne leader there. Maybe I'll put my engineers there. So I can put my little armored car here and it'll be able to cover this whole zone. And they shouldn't be able to get close enough to sneak up on it. It's pretty good for holding a flank. So I'm gonna just drive through here. I'm gonna call in another DD. Another dual drive, in case you missed it before. There's the little cute propellers there. Oh, where did I lose my airborne engineers? Oh shoot, they got so much stuff here. Okay. No, airborne leaders, get back! You know not what you do. There we go. I'm avenging the airborne engineers. Let's see, and then I'll put my other machine gun here. Actually, I want to put it right at the edge of that forest so I can see over here. So my Sherman's gonna drive through and see, the reason I wanted to put my airborne rifles here and my airborne engineers here is because then I can cover this road. So let's see here. So now here's when I start bringing my supply trucks into town. Bring some supply trucks. So my Sherman's just going through, capturing all this stuff, or claiming all this stuff for America. So I'm gonna put my rifles here. And I got that there. Maybe I'll bring a maybe I'll bring an anti-tank gun when I have a chance. All right, Mustang there. I'm gonna bring up these mortars because they're way too far away to really help with anything. All right, I'm gonna bring up an anti-tank gun. Also point it down this road. What do we got here? What's these guys? Oh, flamethrower engineers. Perfect. Put those guys right there. Alright, I've got my Sherman. I gotta move these guys forward. Capture these guys. Alright, I got my Sherman DD right here. Alright, I got my anti-tank gun ready. Probably pulling some more glider rifles. Alright, so we gotta hold this thing for 11 minutes. So things are looking pretty good over here. I get my airborne engineers into here. I'm gonna put my little anti-tank gun here where I can see down. Pretty good view down that road. I might get a little cheeky and put it, if I put it there, well, I actually have a really good line of sight down the road, but it's also probably gonna get killed. But you know what? Sometimes that kind of stuff happens. All right, so, yeah, I'm holding the town. We need more supply trucks. I got an 88 right here. I need to get my mortars to the center of the town so they actually be close enough to possibly hit something. I'm gonna call in more air support. Oh wow, they're okay. They really need ammo over there, but all my poor Jeeps. Gotta move them back so they don't count as getting destroyed. So we got another Mustang ready to go. What do I want to do with the Mustang? Maybe here? Maybe fight these guys? Ooh, oh, I want to blow up this. There we go. This looks like a good thing to blow up. Otherwise, they're just going to keep shelling me. And those can actually take out my my Shermans. Boom! That was probably a supply truck right there that blew up next to them. Come on, you can do it, Sherman. Come on. So as you can see, they have an 88 there that's shooting at my guys. But that's not going to stop me. So I'm actually going to go through here. Put my glider rifles. Put my tank there to help support things. Things are relatively secure here. I probably could bring up my machine gun to like here, just so we don't get flanked. My Sherman's doing a good job shooting down the road there. Gotta get a supply jeep here. Okay, got my mortars ready. They do have that 88, so I have to be careful. But we actually have them in pretty good position. I want to get another tank. But currently they can't bring reinforcements up this road, so they're all hemmed up in here. Which means things are actually pretty good. Keep sniping at my let's see, keep sniping at my Mustangs with their 88. Alright, so if I bring my little supply truck here, it should be able to fill my tank. I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually give more ammo to these guys. I think they're too far forward and exposed. Let me see here. What else can I bring? So the main fault, the biggest issue can be in this is if you rush forward and you don't secure your kind of line of advance. That means all of your troops are going to be getting harassed as you move forward, which obviously makes it very difficult to kind of, you know, to attack, right? Because to move troops forward to protect your guys, because they're constantly just getting like blasted. Move this up here. More ammo for my tank. Gonna move this out of the way. So I'm just shooting lots of mortars here. I got my Mustangs ready to drop more bombs. Maybe on that thing. So I'm losing lots of units, but most of those weren't mine to start with. They were the AIs, so it's not really a big deal. Die. I guess I can't really expect that much from the from the Shermans, or from the my Mustangs. So I'm gonna bring just a bunch of glider rifles, put them in the forest here to prevent the enemy from getting through. I'm also going to bring a oh, it's not phase C yet. Oh, 38 seconds. And also maybe I'll bring in a command tank. These guys could use some morale boosts. All right. So yeah, they're gonna come into this part of town. I can't really stop them, but what I can do, as soon as they move around this little bend here, they're gonna just get hosed. It's phase C in 6 seconds. So AA in this game is really only effective within sort of like a critical mass. As you can see, they only have one, and it's not really enough to do much. Besides kind of slow me down. Let's see. So I brought in. Did I bring in my recon? So recon's on its way. Maybe I'll bring in a duck. I'll bring in a duck to give more supplies. So I got airborne rifles here, or glider rifles. The main thing I'm really bringing glider rifles is just to make sure they don't sneak up and hit my beautiful Sherman dual drive with a rocket and blow it up. So I might actually need to reverse this tank for a second. So, oh, this is like, okay, this has no supplies left. I was like, oh, it has one supply. That's perfect. It has like one bullet. Let's see. What's going on here? Blow up these people. B1. I don't care. I don't know and I don't care. So I got my little command tank here now, giving everybody morale support. Bring in the duck, which are these little amphibious trucks that were used quite extensively. They're probably one of the most important amphibious vehicles of the war. Like one of the ones that actually kind of worked right. Let's see. Okay, man, these guys just don't give a shit. They're just driving in here. All right. Okay. Bring in more glider rifles. Okay, my duck needs to come down a little bit more so I can refuel my I think I've killed so many people on this side, it's really kind of dampening their chances. So my AT gun should be fine on these guys if they try and sneak through. If they try and pull a little sneaky. Support. First I'll bring in another duck. Okay, I'm gonna... Let's see here. So the enemy's trying to flank me here, but as soon as they get close enough, my Sherman is just going to just blow, just ruin their world. Yeah, maybe I'll just bring up another Sherman just to screw with them. The only problem is they can see across the road. Damn it. Damn it. I guess if I move here. Let me face my tank down the road and move my M8 out of the way so they don't kill it. There we go. Hello, Mr. Panzer 35. This is a Hotchkiss. It's a captured French tank. The German war machine was not exactly what has been displayed in propaganda. And they didn't even have enough like weapons to tanks and things to properly outfit all of their own troops. So they used a lot of captured French and Czechoslovakian equipment. I guess it's debatable whether or not the Czechoslovakian equipment was captured because they sort of voluntarily annexed themselves. Basically, like, the Germans invaded Czechoslovakia and the Czechoslovakians just like didn't fight back because through a series of sneaky treaties, Germany already had control of all of their like defensive positions. All right, so it looks like we are okay there. We didn't take this extra objective to blow up this flat gun, but you know, hey, you can't always accomplish everything. So if you look, still not too bad on losses. I think almost all of these were the units that were given to me that are captured when I went into the town. I think the airborne engineers were mine. I lost those, and these recon that I walked into an ambush. You can see here the MVPs are clearly my my M4 dual drives, because nothing here could really hurt them except AT guns and the special, like, Panzerschrecks and things. And I was very careful to not get them within 100 meters of like any bush that could have a Panzerschreck in it. Anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.